What's right, what's wrong, and what's good and what's bad about just basic manners. It's also a part of your job, because I cannot imagine someone coming into your office and you not showing the mannerisms of the welcoming, which is nothing but a high-level form of manners. It's part of your pedigree. Number 4, we exercise extraordinary physical responsibility. How to succeed with less. I'm going to tell you a quick story. My first recruiting budget at Washington State University was $60,000. The average recruiting budget today in any major college is probably around $500,000 to $800,000. Some don't have one. Okay? I asked Don James one time what his recruiting budget was, and he said whatever it takes. And he was dead serious. I had $60,000 budget. You have a budget. So how did I survive? Well, here's how we survived. We got Rose Bowl tickets. I found out our athletic director got 50 Rose Bowl tickets every year. So we went to car dealers in LA, because I had 2 coaches recruiting LA, the whole LA. And we asked them, what would you trade for six Rose Bowl tickets? How about a rental car for 3 months? Free, and that's all. So wow, for 12 tickets, we got 2 rental cars for the whole 3-month recruiting session in the city of LA, unlimited mileage. Yes. Second thing we did, we found out what alums lived in San Francisco, Santa Clara, all over the place. And we would rent a car for $6 a day. Take that rental car to your house, take your car that you take the kid to school with, give you the rental car, we put 1,500 miles on your car, only 100 on the rental car. In those days, you paid mileage. So we would get a $6 a day rental car, trade it with an alum, run up 1,500 miles on that rental car, go back and pay $26 for the damn car for the week. You find a way to make your budget. You find a way to be competitive. You find a way to do what others can't do, because you're working harder at making it happen. I could never thank my alums in the California area enough for all the years they gave us our cars. We got, every coach, now you'll get a kick out of this, they got $40 a day per diem when you're on the road. Now, $40 don't buy you a lot. You've been down here to this restaurant, hell, a hamburger costs you $18. So there goes half your per diem almost. All right, so $40. So how do you get around it? Well, this coach calls that coach. You got 2 in LA. You know what they did? They went to Motel 6s and split the cost, so they could drink some beer that evening. You find ways. I'm just giving you these up-to-date things because they all cried. Every one of my coaches, when we went to a per diem deal, that about 2 years later, instead of the $40 automatic, because you could, if you saved, you came home with $28 or came home with $12, you got to keep it. It was flat $40 per diem. I thought my coaches were all going to quit when they said we got to go now to a sign the check deal. Even if they could stay at the Marriott down at the airport instead of a Motel 6, they hated it, because they all getting dirt poor money anyway, so they'd come home with a little money. Buy mom a pair of shoes or something. So it's all about trying to get it done. It's all about per diem. I'm going to give you a joke. Old farmers trying to go to State Fair, and every year they'd have airplanes, those old crop duster type things. So he asked the guy, what does it take? Going to negotiate a price here. He said, $25 a head. He said, I can't afford that. And they bickered around and finally just wore the old guy, the airplane guy, out and said, all right, here's the deal. I'll take you both up there, but you better not say a word. If you say a word, I'll make you pay full price. So sure enough, Grandma and Grandpa got in the car, farmer took off. And he was looping and jumping and doing everything he possibly could. Old boy never said a word. They land and get back into the hangar. And he says, well, I have to tell you something. I just thought I could make you say something, make you pay. He said, you negotiated a good deal. He said, I couldn't believe you kept quiet. The old farmer looked at him and said, well, I almost did when Mama fell out that one loop you made. So you have to negotiate. You have to be persistent. You know that. I'm going to finish this with this. In our day and age, you have a lot of opinions. Too many opinions in my opinion. But let's make sure we understand, as you're doing business with your team and you're listening to people, when someone asks your opinion, make sure you want it and make sure you're prepared to deal with it when they give it to you. But if you're giving your opinion, there's two kinds. There's the emphatic opinion that you're right with no facts. Or there's the open expression of your opinion as we're having conversations. I used to tell my staff all the time, when I ask you for your opinion, if you're emphatic, you better have it backed on facts. Or if we're just having a bull session and we're talking about ways and doing things, you want their opinions. So it subjects everybody to open dialogue. But be aware that your opinion, as you're giving it, does not necessarily mean that it has to always be taken. My coaches had to learn, just because they believe religiously in a certain fact or a certain thing of their opinion didn't mean that the rest of the staff was going to buy it. We would argue on, you just can't imagine how much we'd argue about a football player, whether he was a recruitable athlete or not. So my rule got to be, if 3 guys said this kid was a player, we took him. We offered him. You have to have some factual things to go with it. So make sure that you base opinions on facts, and in the end, you will benefit from that knowledge. So I always said to my coaches, opinions, facts, knowledge. Those who start behind in the game of life must run faster to catch up. Benjamin Mays. You have to always think you're from behind, so it keeps you really wanting to work. Now I'm going to finish this because I've probably overlapped my time. I'm going to read this to you, and I hope all of you will take it to heart. The entrepreneur is that woman or man with unlimited drive, initiative, insight, energy, daring, creativity, optimism, ingenuity. The entrepreneur is a person who sees every field as a potential garden and every seed an apple. The entrepreneur is the man or woman who is constantly thinking of new ways to improve the material or spiritual lives of the greatest number of people. C. Bradley Thompson. In this day and age, all of you have the ability every day to be a great entrepreneur, even in your own rule. You don't have to be the CEO to be an entrepreneur. You can be the best entrepreneur on your team. And don't be afraid to do it. So I hope that your own stuff and some of mine, as what goes through the lives of coaching, to make everybody happy. Because in the end, a lot of what you do gets put out in the public. And a lot of what I did got put out in the public. Because you were going to have to buy a ticket to see if I did a good job. Thank God you won't have to pay, somebody won't have to buy a ticket to see your boardrooms. And that's a good thing. Because coaches are totally involved with the fact that the end results of what they do every day, someone's going to buy a ticket to see if it's worth it. So I say to all of you, continue to all your pledges, do the things you're learning to do. It's such a great service to so many people because they need what you do. Thank you very much.